Welcome to Parchment Update, an interview series from the Parchment Community Library to bring your community closer to you. I'm Karen Woodworth, Library Ambassador. I'm joined today by Shalom Director Lon Bouma and Shalom Resident Josh Brown. Thank you both for being here today.
It's
Thanks,
a pleasure.
Karen.
Well, we're going to talk about Farm Days, which are coming up on September 27th and 28th. But first, please tell us a little about Shalom.
You bet. Shalom is a nonprofit organization that exists to enrich the lives of adults living with disabilities. We are a Christian organization, and that's core to our identity and core to what we believe about caring for people.
And as we care about people, we care about everybody, and we do more than enrich the lives of people living with disabilities. We show them through God's love and by being on mission to spread God's love that everybody has value no matter what their ability is.
Amen.
And that is an anchor point, not just for us, but for the community at large.
Amen.
Yeah, I've certainly heard great things about Shalom, and I did read the book about Shalom's history. It's really fascinating. I recommend it to anyone. We have it in our library here at the Parchment Community Library. So what else would you like guests to know about Shalom in general?
You bet. So we started off, I think it was 35 years ago now. Shalom started with one couple, the Collison family, Glenn and Sarah, and they started Shalom with one house. It was a 12-bed AFC, and through the years, Shalom has expanded exponentially, and we now have many houses in the Shalom network. Josh lives in one of the Shalom houses right now. And we also then I think it was about 2012, expanded the idea of Shalom beyond residential housing to what can people do during the day. So we developed meaningful work opportunities for people like the Shalom Woolery, which operates Monday through Thursday. And then the Shalom Coffee Connection, where we're sitting right now in the Shepherd's Barn, which is also houses the Connection Depot thrift store, which so many of our beautiful Parchment people come and visit on Fridays and Saturdays.
And I can tell you, being a resident here has taught me so much about life and about people. Not only are we all broken and we need help, but there's hope. And you can't give up no matter what your circumstances are. And we need each other.
Amen.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, Josh, what does Shalom Farm Days mean to you?
For me personally, it's a chance to demonstrate to the community at large and even people outside of our community that everyone, no matter what their level of ability is, has something to contribute and has value. We are all loved by God. I mean, even if you don't believe in God. And we all have a role to play in society.
Amen.
And I know there's a lot going on during Farm Days. And Josh, I'm wondering, what is your favorite area to serve at Shalom Farm Days?
My favorite area is the cider press because I like the fact that you can take an apple and reduce it down to pretty much apple juice. It's a good metaphor for maybe what we have in common as people. We all have the same basic things in common.
I think you just like to drink the juice.
That too.
Yeah, I never thought of that. That really is a great metaphor. Thank you for sharing that. So tell us about some of the other activities that will be happening at Farm Days.
You bet. So Shalom Farm Days is our biggest event of the year. It's a 2-day event on September 27 and 28 this year from 2 to 5 each day. And so we have three main areas of events. One is our Shalom Farm. There's going to be cider press there where there'll be demonstrations of how to make it. And then also, yes, you get to drink it. There's going to be food, free food for everyone, hot dogs, donuts, popcorn, cider. What am I forgetting? Oh, you're going to talk about the other free food in just a minute.
Yeah.
There's going to be animal interactions on the farm with goat walking and petting. We'll have a couple of donkeys there. We have rabbits and chickens and alpacas and sheep. Just watch out for Sammy because he does spit. I'm telling everyone in advance. So that's the farm. And then we'll have face painting, pumpkin painting. We'll have a live bluegrass band each day, bounce house for kids, and trail rides with two different hay rides, one with our tractor and one with horses that go through our Shalom trails. And then, of course, there's activities at the Woolery, which Josh is going to talk about.
Now, our activities are at the Woolery. We work with wool, obviously, that we get from sheep as well as alpacas,
Mm-hmm.
and we make products using that wool.
Mm-hmm.
Probably our most famous product is dryer balls
Right.
that we make out of wool. They are supposed to replace dryer sheets.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually something we make that sells probably the most out of everything. We have a huge demand for dryer balls.
True.
But another thing we do, which is a part of making the dryer balls themselves, is felting.
There you go.
And we are going to have things called make and takes.
Mm-hmm.
That's things that the community can do at farm days to where they can actually experience and understand what it is we do here at Shalom
Mm-hmm.
and the things we make.
Right.
And I think they're going to understand a deeper thing, especially with felting. Like Shalom, it creates connectedness in community.
Mm-hmm.
And as I mentioned earlier, that's like one of the biggest things about farm days. And ultimately, that's what it is, to show the love of Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what other activities are there to do at the Woolery at farm days?
Well, we have the wood shop,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be open, and we are going to have residents, plus our coach Wayne, showing people what we do at the wood shop and what we make.
Mm-hmm.
And the wood shop is a recent addition to Shalom. So yes, we do woodworking.
Mm-hmm. What else is in the basement?
We have wool processing,
Mm-hmm.
to where we wash and clean the wool and get it ready to be made into dryer balls.
Yeah. Demonstration of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's in the corner there? Leah.
We have Leah Went, who
Great volunteer of Shalom.
mm-hmm.
She edited the book that you read and referenced earlier, What is in Your Hands? And she is our resident expert spinner. So she teaches people how to spin, and she will be there at farm days along with other volunteers to help teach our community if they'd like to know how to spin. So that's a lot of fun. And then we have Woolery sales also,
Mm-hmm.
and other demonstrations. So come and enjoy. And then the free food.
Yeah, the free food.
What free food do we have at the Woolery?
We have we have coffee,
Uh-huh.
as well as Karen's Wonderful Cookies.
Right. I think they changed the name. It's Homestead's Wonderful Cookies now. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
awesome cookies.
Okay, yeah, I didn't make them, so not that, Karen.
Mhm.
All right, I have to say that sounds like an amazing lineup of activities, and I'm starting to think, wait, can I fit that all in into 3 hours in one
Right.
day? So maybe
That's
people
why
should
we have 2 days.
All right. So I do need to ask you, what should we know about parking?
Yeah, parking is a big thing. So, Riverview Drive runs north and south, and our woolery is on Van Buren Street. That is a dirt road, and that is the next street north of from McKinley, which is where the Cooper Township Fire Department is. And so, and you'll see the farm. The farm's in between the fire department and the woolery. So what guests are going to want to do is come in to Van Buren Street, which is to the west, and then there will be people directing parking right away. Right when they come in, people will be pointing where to go. So we've done this now since, I think you're going to ask how long we've been doing this. I did a little research, and for sure it was 2015 and maybe 2014. I'm that one I'm not sure about. That was the first Farm Days open house to the community, and so we've learned quite a bit through the years, and parking was a big one. And we have grown uh, exponentially from the first Farm Days until now. Um, the trajectory's just been going up and up until last year when we had rain on one day, and then it kind of went down. But we're expecting about 1,200 people over the 2-day event. So it's very full, but there's enough space because we're spread out. Our campus is pretty large, so there's plenty of room for people to park and plenty of room for people to move around. We'll also have shuttles for people who have mobility issues, so that if you want to get down to the pavilion and you're already at the farm, you'll be able to find a ride to get over there.
Okay, that sounds really well thought out. So glad to know that you've got all those options there. So yes, I was wondering how long farm days have been going on. So thanks for asking that. And so maybe tell us a little bit about why farm days began and what kind of impact you hope they have.
Well, I think it began just as a way to connect with the community in the first place. It's kind of like, hey, we're here. Shalom is a part of Parchment community, Parchment Plainwell community, and I think it's important for people to know who your neighbors are, number one. And then I think through the years, it's as we've grown, we wanted to be able to share with the community who we are and the mission that we are trying to accomplish here, and really to raise some awareness to the fact that, hey, we are serving and trying to enrich the lives of adults living with disabilities. But as Josh referred to earlier, some of the things that we learned throughout all of that is, hey, we're all in the same boat. We are all in need of help. And some of the greatest lessons that I've learned as a director and a volunteer before that is that I'm a broken person too, and I need wholeness too. And my brothers and sisters here at Shalom are some of the greatest teachers that we have, as you can easily tell from listening to Josh talk for about 2 minutes. So yeah, we really wanted to connect with the community and continue to raise awareness, but also we we believe that we're on mission here at Shalom. We're on mission to share the love of Jesus with our community. We care about our community. We love Parchment. We love Plainwell, and we want to be able to bless our community. And that's why the Farm Days event is free. We do have a whole bunch of community partners who help us to make this free. And there will be a list of all those community partners up at Farm Days in various areas. And truly, we could not do Farm Days without the help of our community partners and an army of volunteers. There will likely be over 100 volunteers that help us on Shalom Farm Days, over the 2 days, and that's pretty much our DNA. We could never do what we do at Shalom without the help of so many amazing volunteers that help us on a weekly basis.
Well, that's great. That's really wonderful. Well, before we wrap up, what else would you like us to know?
What do you think, Josh?
Shalom, it's something desperately needed in the world right now.
Mhm.
We need peace, we need community,
Mhm.
and we need each other because none of us can do this alone.
Yeah.
And, we need God.
Mhm. Amen. And that the word shalom is a Hebrew word that means peace and all-encompassing wholeness. And I think we can all agree that, boy, does that sound good in our world right now. That is what we need. We need shalom.
Like, we need to recognize each other's humanity. And Shalom is an organization that helps foster that interconnectedness and that recognizing that we all have worth and we all have value
Mhm.
and we're all fundamentally the same. And as Lon said, we are all in the same boat.
Amen, brother.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Again, we've been talking about farm days at Shalom, and they are Saturday, September 27th and Sunday, September 28th from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m., both days, located at Shalom. 3191 Van Buren Street, just north of Parchment. Well, Lon and Josh, thank you so much for taking the time to share the information with us today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.